Hi, this is Friday, the 27th of May, 2022. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. This is the DA, Democratic Alliance Labour Report. This Alliance Labour Report can be distributed to family and friends. Put it onto Facebook with pleasure. We have had a torrid time over the last week. The time has been the wage negotiation season. We're about to enter into the major strike season. Luckily, yesterday, on Thursday, we saw two of the large strikes being settled. Maybe a little bit more than the employers can afford. It's going to create a lot of pressure on our economy. But we've got some big strikes in the offing. We've got the income tax strike. We have still one of the mining strikes that is taking place. And then we've got the real big one, the civil service strike. So this is Michael Bagram reporting to you on the Labour report of the Democratic Alliance. Thank you. Let me quickly go to the mining strike. You will see that what's happened in that particular instance, it's been an enormous threat to our economy. And it looks like the Minister of Employment and Labour has been very tardy, to say the least. That's an understatement, I know. The Minister somehow doesn't have his finger on the pulse, and the Minister of Employment and Labour is never around when there's a real problem. He's very quick to disappear and very quick to talk and to give great platitudes and to say how well the department's done. But unfortunately, when there's a real problem in this country, the Minister disappears. Well, we know that one of the major problems that we have in this country is unemployment. And we're sitting at 50%, the worst in the world. And we spoke about this last week. The minister is silent. Well, we have this major strike going on at the moment in one of the biggest sectors of our economy, and that's mining. And that is threatening the economy. It's threatening the country. It's undermining the system. And we can see what is happening on that mining belt. Now, the labour law does allow the minister to step in. The labour law allows the minister to even declare the strike to be non-functional and destructive. And he can call for advisory arbitration in terms of Section 150 of the Labour Relations Act. Well, hopefully he's listening to this video and he'll go and read Section 150. It might be important for him to read it and understand it, and to then activate his queries and obviously the arbitration. Now, I had the opportunity during this week to speak to the senior commissioner of the CCMA, Commissioner Cameron Moriani, and I asked him what's happening with Section 150, because at the end of the day, the CCMA have a duty to also ensure that we have labour peace in the country. We're going to talk just now about the civil service possible strike. That'll be even more destructive. And so the commissioner had said, yes, he was fully aware of Section 150. He was fully aware that, in fact, the parties had, in fact, contacted the CCMA, and he was going to be putting his most senior commissioners onto this. Now, it looks like this is being done without the knowledge or the input from the ministry. And again, I thank the CCMA. I'm often thanking them, but I thank them for actually stepping in this instance and actually saying, let's try and get something done. I'm hoping that it bears fruit. The CCMA is an independent body. They're not controlled by the management or by the unions. And if you get their senior commissioners, they're actually pretty good. They settle about 75% of the matters that they do have in front of them. And so we can have some hope that strike will come to an end very quickly. Well, we've got the forthcoming strike on the civil service now. That will be a mother of all strikes if it happens. Can you imagine what will happen to South Africa? We're very close to being a failed state. But can you imagine if, in fact, we start having a civil service strike where you get absolutely no work done in any of the municipalities whatsoever? Well, there's very little work being done in the municipalities anyway. But that strike will really put paid to it. I have some faith. I know that in terms of the Western Province, which is controlled by the Democratic Alliance, we would very quickly step in and activate Section 150 of the Labour Relations Act. We can use it. It's legislation, it's there. We don't have to go via the minister. We can go directly to the CCMA, and we can then ensure that the Western Cape and the Western Province stays secure in the face of a very large, unnerving strike. You've seen what we've done. We've managed in the Western Province through the Democratic Alliance to ensure that our electricity is kept burning at most times. Yes, under certain circumstances we don't have enough, but at most times we keep it burning. You can see what we've done. We've come out of the abyss where we had very little water, and we've managed to now secure it. And I think the Western Province now to a large degree is secure. So this is a government that is working. This is a government that will work. Hopefully in the 2024 elections, we can take over some more municipalities, we can take over some more provinces, and we can then cobble together an alliance with some right-thinking people to try and ensure that we save the country. 2024 is merely 2 years away, and we need to think very carefully as to how we're going to be able to secure more jobs, how we're going to be able to keep Labour peace, and how we can actually keep the country working and the lights burning, the water running, and the services going. It's something that many of the people in the Western Province don't realize how bad it is in the other provinces. So thank you once again for listening to me. It's Michael Bagram on behalf of the Democratic Alliance. I really appreciate it. And as I said, please share this video. Thank you. Keep safe, keep warm, and have a good weekend.